Solve by completing the square. X squared plus 2x plus 5 equals 0. First, we want to move the constant term to the other side of the equation. We can do that by subtracting 5 on both sides. This gives us x squared plus 2x equals negative 5. The point of this is getting rid of the constant term on the left makes room for us to complete the square. It just moves it out of the way. To complete the square, we take the coefficient on x, which is 2. We divide it by 2 to get 1, and we square that. 1 times 1 is 1. So to complete the square, we need to add 1 to both sides of this equation. When we do that on the left-hand side, we end up with a perfect square trinomial, x squared plus 2x plus 1, which we can factor to get x plus 1 squared. On the right-hand side, negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. Now that we have something squared equals a number, we can take the square root of both sides. When we take the square root of the left-hand side, that gives us x plus 1. And on the right, when we apply the square root property, this gives us plus or minus the square root of negative 4. But we can figure out what that is. Whenever we have the square root of a negative, we know that that negative is going to become an I. And then the square root of 4 is 2. So the square root of negative 4 is going to be 2i, of course, with the plus or minus symbol in front. So we have x plus 1 equals plus or minus 2i. To get the x alone, we subtract 1 on both sides. This leaves us with x equals negative 1 plus or minus 2i. And this is our final answer. We don't need to look at the two answers separately, negative 1 plus 2i and negative 1 minus 2i, because we can't combine a real term with an imaginary term. So this is really as simple as the answer gets, and so we're allowed to leave our answer in this form, x equals negative 1 plus or minus 2i.